In 1978, the Series 2, or S2, Esprit made its debut, designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro, known for its distinctive folded paper design style, which is evident in the sharp angles and wedge shape of the Esprit S2, which contributed significantly to the Esprit's iconic and futuristic appearance. Showcasing several external upgrades, the S2 included new intake and cooling ducts behind the rear quarter windows, larger ribbed tail lights sourced from the Rover SD1, and an integrated front spoiler which extended rearward beneath the nose, beginning the car's slender side skirts, which grew out of the ground effect era. Other modifications included installing wider seats by 2 inches and replacing the Veglia instrument cluster with individual gauges crafted by Smiths. Additionally, a new style of illuminated dashboard switch was introduced and sourced from the humble Morris Marina. The S2 also featured the new Lotus 14-inch Speedline alloy wheels, designed by Lotus as directed by Colin Chapman. Other modifications included repositioning the battery from above the right side fuel tank under the rear quarter window to the rear of the car and adding an access door to the engine cover. The engine used in the S2 was still the venerable Type 907 2-litre or 121 cubic inch, designed by Lotus Cars and entirely made of alloy. It featured a double overhead cam using 16 valves with a compression ratio of 8.4:1. In most markets it produced about 144 brake horsepower using dual side draft Auto carburetors, while in the US models were equipped with twin Zenith Stromberg 175 CD2 SE carburetors. Known colloquially as the torqueless wonder, this engine was noted for its lack of low-end torque but delivered impressive high-end horsepower. Running through a 5-speed Citreon C35 manual transmission which had synchromesh on all forward gears where 5th is overdrive, and then through a diff with a ratio of 4:10:1. The front suspension featured independent unequal length wishbones with coil springs, telescopic shock absorbers and an anti-roll bar. The rear used independent diagonal trailing arms, a lateral link with a fixed length drive shaft, coil springs and telescopic shock absorbers. Stopping was by all-round disc brakes, 9.7-inch front and 10.6-inch inboard at the rear. This setup could take the Esprit from 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds, giving it a top speed of 124 miles per hour and covering the quarter mile in 19 seconds at 92 miles per hour. At the same time as the S2 was being launched, the Lotus Formula 1 team was winning the 1978 Formula 1 World Championship in its black and gold Type 79 car, driven by Mario Andretti. Lotus had won both the 1978 Formula 1 Drivers and Constructors Championships respectively. The significance of the Lotus Type 79 is often ignored as one of the most pioneering race cars of its time, one of which fundamentally changed the core principles of motorsport engineering. Racing cars today are as they are because of this innovative Lotus. However, who would have wagered that the most dominant team in Formula 1 over the previous 2 decades will fail to secure another World Championship title again? Colin Chapman, the owner and founder of Lotus Cars, had established a long-term sponsorship relationship with John Player Special Cigarettes. The partnership proved exceptionally successful, making Team Lotus the most dominant team in Formula 1 during this era. Despite not having raced for many years, Team Lotus still ranks near the top in numerous all-time records. Chapman had already adorned his Cessna 414A Chancellor II private aircraft with the black and gold JPS livery of John Player, bearing the registration G Prix. Following Lotus's victory in the 1978 F1 World Championship, a commemorative edition Esprit was announced to celebrate this achievement, but it would remain based on and be mechanically identical to the standard S2 models. In October 1978, at the British Motor Show at the NEC in Birmingham, Lotus released this limited edition model commemorating Mario Andretti winning both the 1978 Formula 1 Driver and Constructor Championships. 2 cars, numbers 0491G and 0495G, were on display. They were finished in black and gold, the colours of their sponsor JPS. But unfortunately, once the cars were ready for sale, JPS JPS no longer sponsored the team, and it would be Martini who stepped in to provide Lotus sponsorship for 1979. This then meant these Esprits could no longer be called JPS Esprits. Unofficially, they did become known as JPS. However, their correct name is World Championship Commemorative Model. This would be the first and most iconic limited edition of the early Esprit models, and would go on to be known internally at Lotus as Special, Commemorative, or simply Black. However, to the British public, it was always affectionately known as the JPS. The nickname derived from the distinctive gold on black colour scheme that became forever linked with Lotus Grand Prix cars during the ground effect era. The JPS model, or World Championship Commemorative Model as it should be known, could be distinguished from the standard Esprit by a number of differences, which included the bodywork being finished in black with bright gold coach lines which flowed along the body. Each car had individually numbered commemorative edition badges placed on both quarter panels. The side stripes from front to rear had World Champion inserts on both doors. Another notable feature was the addition of a reef around the bonnet badge, symbolising the success of the World Championship winning Type 79 Grand Prix cars. A World Champion Car Constructors badge with all 7 years as champions listed was added to the tailgate on the lower corner driver's side. The gold theme also extended to picking out the windscreen and rear window frames in gold accents. This also included finishing the S2 Esprit's Speedline alloy wheels in gold. The front wheels were 7J by 14 inch, shod with 195/60 HR14s Goodyear Grand Prix, and the rear were larger at 7.5J by 14s, shod with 205/70s HR14s Goodyear Grand Prix again. The interior featured black Connolly leather seats with gold corduroy inserts and headrests. The door panels and centre armrests also featured the same gold corduroy. A small plaque calling out World Championship Commemorative Model was fitted to each car. For US cars, it was on the glove box lid and featured Mario Andretti's signature, while in the UK and the rest of the world, it was fitted just below the radio in the centre console and had Colin Chapman's signature on them. These JPS models originally came with a Hitachi Digi-1 radio cassette deck, and additionally, all federal spec US cars received air conditioning. Two features distinguish the commemorative edition from the standard Esprit S2. First, it boasts a 3-spoke Momo competition steering wheel instead of the standard 2-spoke, and also carrying Mario Andretti's signature. Second, it includes a rubber gear lever in place of the standard wood top one. Initially, these elements might seem out of place until you recall they mirror the cockpit of Andretti's Type 79 Formula 1 car. The steering wheel is perfectly positioned for a Formula 1 driver's straight-armed quarter-to-3 grip, and the shorter gear lever sits conveniently at wrist height, naturally within reach of the centre console. Gold pinstriping adorned the cabin, complemented by the practical addition of a door-mounted cigarette lighter. Each buyer would also receive a framed photograph of the winning Lotus 79, personally signed by Colin Chapman. While Lotus initially claimed a production run of 300 cars, 100 for the UK, 100 for the Americas and 100 for the rest of the world. However, due to the condition of Lotus records, the exact figures are unfortunately not known, but the general feeling is that a total of 185 cars were built, broken down as 100 for the UK, 55 for America and 30 for the rest of the world. The production of these cars started with the first JPS Esprit being completed on the 13th of December 1978 and the last being finished on the 27th of July 1979. However, to confuse matters even more, there is one Lotus employee who did provide the JPS total and information. 147 were probably made, 94 for Britain, 10 for California, 16 for the other 49 US states and 27 for the rest of the world. This reveals a discrepancy of 38 cars, regrettably highlighting the inconsistency in Lotus record keeping. The manner in which these records were maintained is predominantly responsible for making it impossible to verify these figures definitively. If anyone has any information in regards to these numbers, it would be greatly appreciated. Funnily enough, This hadn't been the first time a JPS special had been created. Lotus had previously released the Europa JPS. Production started in December 1972 to commemorate Team Lotus's victories in the 1972 Formula 1, winning the Drivers' Championship with Emerson Fittipaldi and also the Constructors' Championship. Again, the JPS Europa featured a black exterior with gold pinstripes, but this time was limited to 100 cars. Then there was Ford, who also produced the JPS Capri, but this time in both black and white and gold liveries. Ford released the Capri JPS Special in 1975 to capitalise on the success of the Lotus Formula 1 racing team, which was sponsored by John Player Special Cigarettes. This connection was instigated because Ford, with the help of Cosworth, supplied their engines to Lotus. Finally, and what many believe was the catalyst for the Bandit Trans Am, was Bill Mitchell's GM Vice President of Design liking of the colour scheme, which led to a prototype. Then in 1976, the special edition Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, originally created to celebrate Pontiac's 50th anniversary in 1976, and was then called the Limited Edition. This special edition featured the iconic black paint job with gold accents, including gold pinstriping, a gold grille, gold wheels, and the famous gold Screaming Chicken decal on the hood. The car was designated with RPO, Regular Production Order Code, Y82, and would be produced from 1976 until the end of production for the second generation Firebird in 1981. The Lotus Esprit JPS John Player Special Edition is a tribute to the iconic Formula 1 liveries that graced the racetrack. This special edition features a striking black and gold colour scheme, adorned with gold pinstriping along the cabin. The exterior is complemented by unique JPS badging, and the interior boasts luxurious touches, including a door-mounted cigarette lighter. Underneath its stylish appearance lies the performance prowess of the Esprit, powered by the Lotus 907 engine. The JPS edition not only celebrates Lotus's racing heritage, but also stands as a symbol of elegance and exclusivity, capturing the essence of both luxury and performance in a single package. Although the Esprit was not different mechanically to the standard S2, thanks to Lotus winning the double in Formula 1 in 1978, it gave us a rare and iconic model that still shines today.